book. And
recording in progress.
All right, all right, all right, all right. Greetings, greetings, greetings to part two of Fight Fire with Truth. This is Fight Fire with Truth, which is open conversation. Today was August 23rd, 2026. It was August 23rd, 2026. When the night after August 23rd, 2026. And tonight's topic is conversating with Mineral Mama, or should we say Katrina, our sister Katrina. Sister Katrina or Trina, from our hometown, Detroit, Michigan. Beautiful woman. My brother Matthew shared some information. Just want to give y'all the rundown. My brother Matthew shared some information with me yesterday, and I didn't get a chance to look at it until today. And I started looking at it, and I was going through some of her links on Instagram, and blew my mind. And I had my wife, me and my wife was looking at it. So I had to reach out to her for her books. Y'all ought to get her books. She's gonna share all that with you as well. And I'm gonna put the information in the links by the time, when we're done, and everything's gonna be on the information, in the information. But this is Mineral Mama. Her name is I'm bad. Katrina Riviel. I'll make sure I say it right. Did I say it correct? Ravenel. I got Katrina right, but Ravenel. So everyone, this beautiful sister, I'm gonna bring her to you. She shared. Y'all got to go back and check out part one. Part one, we had a lot of information that was shared. It's a lot here, so I'm gonna let her come in and I'm gonna let her have the floor, share information. Our brother Matthew gonna have questions. Maybe Joanne to get a chance to ask questions this time. And we here, and don't forget, this is every Sunday night introduction. This is Fight Fire with Truth, which is open conversation. And right now, I'm going to open the doors and let Sister Katrina have the floor, which is called Mineral Mama. Mineral Mama. And this is what our bodies are made of. Matthew quoted that. I have learned that when I was in Atlanta before coming back home, and everything is coming full circle. So, Mineral Mama, or shall I say Katrina, take it away, sis. What would you like to say?
What y'all want to talk about right now? I'm trying to think of something. I think I don't know if you saw one of the videos where I was saying um that pacemakers was a scam.
Oh yes, I'm glad you said that because my brother just passed from having a pacemaker. I had a brother that I didn't even know he had gotten one. I didn't even know he got one, and yeah, he just passed in the beginning of May. And you wouldn't believe the beginning of May, the first Friday is when he passed. I actually was at the hospital, and his pacemaker he passed, and then the next day my nephew he passed, and I'm just gonna say he passed the next following day after that. But yes, about that pacemaker situation. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah. So what made me come to that conclusion, or how I came to that conclusion, as I'm researching all the time like I do, I don't follow the traditional pattern of research. I'm going to research and I'm going to filter it through my ancestors, through the Most High, right, and get some understanding. And um, and then once you have the answer, then you just plug that in all the time. That's where the real information pops up. So when I started to research selenium, because most people never really heard of selenium, right? They talk about Brazil nuts. Oh, I can eat two Brazil nuts, and that'll give me the amount of selenium that I need. Well, if those Brazil nuts came from Peru, but if those Brazil nuts came from throughout the United States, there's no selenium to uptake in that plant. And so the selenium's not going to be enough to uptake in those Brazil nuts. So you got to know where the Brazil nuts are coming from. Not Brazil, but Peru. That's going to give you your highest content. And it will have to be on the back. So the best way that I know is to take supplements. Now, Dr. Schrouser, what he found is that when he was on the planet, he went to 27 different countries. The countries who were short of the 350 micrograms of selenium are the countries that had cancer on a regular basis. So what that looked like, he went to Israel. The women that were at stage 1, 2, 3, and 4 of breast cancer, they didn't have 400 micrograms of selenium. They had 13 micrograms, 11, 8, and 8, or under 100 in Australia, right? So the people that had, and so back to the, let me just go back to the pacemakers. So what I saw was that China has something called Patient's disease, right? Where it's such a severe selenium deficiency, they have cardiomyopathy, they can have an enlarged heart, they can have arrhythmias, right? Heart murmurs. They're not giving them a pacemaker for all them names. They're giving them selenium, right? But then I like cardiomyopathy, enlarged heart, athlete's heart, arrhythmia, but they giving my people a pacemaker,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's what I realized. I said, so they scamming us because lack of knowledge, people perish, and we don't have the knowledge to know we need selenium to correct that imbalance. And if you correct the balance, that imbalance with selenium on a regular basis, guess what? It will never have cancer. It will never have arrhythmia. It will never have cardiomyopathy. It will never have an athlete's heart. So Dr. Schrouzer noticed that because he had an athlete's heart, he was from Europe. When he took that selenium, it shrink his heart back to regular size.
Mm.
Okay, so we over here dying and laughing out.
Definitely, definitely.
That's huge.
Yeah. On that point, say the selenium. Can you explain more about the what is it? Selenium you called it? That
Selenium.
causes the situation, or that would prepare the situation for. Could you break that down in layman's terms for what that may be, how it may be selenium and.
Let me break it down. What I say when genius and intelligence come together. I say, okay, so here's Finland over here. And Finland decided we don't want our people to be having all that kidney disease, kidney dialysis. We're going to protect their kidney. Let me see how we're going to do that. We're going to take a little selenium. We're going to take some fertilizer, right? We're going to have so much selenium, parts per million of selenium in our fertilizer. Everybody use fertilizer, growing your food, some for the animals. And so I'm like, if this is true what they're saying, if this is what they're doing over there, I should be able to type in my hypothesis. I should be able to type in what's the amount of how the amount of kidney disease, kidney dialysis in this country. Because if what they're saying is true, it should be very low to none, right? Less than 5%. I like look at that protection. Look at that kidney protection. We don't have no protection over here because we don't know about selenium. Most of the world know about selenium, but they don't bring it up in our circles over here because one day they feel like selenium is going to be so scarce, right? I gave a young man who was 30 years old. His little sister said, my brother almost died. And I said, why? She said, he has cancer. I said, how old is your brother? He's 30 years old. I said, I'm going to take you home tomorrow because she was spending the weekend. When I take you home, you take this iodine and selenium and you take it to your brother. This man, I don't give him no instructions. I don't give him no dietary. I don't give him. I forget all about that. I gave this young man the supplements, and so I'm invited to a baby shower. This story is in my book. I'm invited to. The young lady who spent the weekend at my house, she's like, she was 24. Her brother was 30, but they had a sister who was 20, 22 and in conception. And she was having a baby shower. And they invited my son to the baby shower. So I had to take my son, drive him to the shower. So I'm sitting there 2 hours in. A young man comes over to me and say, I just wanted to say thank you. And I'm like, thank me for what? Right? And he said, well, when my sister came home with the supplements, I'm like, this is the brother. Oh my God, right? This is the brother. And so I'm listening to him. And he said, so when my sister came home with the supplements, I stopped taking my cancer medication. And I only took the supplements that you gave. And when I woke up the next morning, I said, Mama, I got some energy, Mama. I got some energy. And so that encouraged him to continue to take it. He said, now I kept going to my doctor's appointment. I never told them I wasn't taking my cancer medication. And I never told them I was taking selenium and iodine either. Because at this point, I guess he felt like he was going to die anyway. So what the heck? He may as well try something different. So at this point in the conversation, I say, can we go outside? Because I want to hear everything coming out your mouth. Because right now he's competing with the music at the baby shower. So now we step outside. And I'm looking up at him, beautiful afro, nice skin. I'm triaging him real fast with my mind. Right, nice afro, beautiful skin, nice height, 6 feet tall, perfect weight. You would have never known this was the sick dude. So now he's telling me the backstory, right? So now he's telling me so when he was in the hospital, he was bleeding from every orifice in his body. Yes, he was dying.
Dang.
Okay. And so he says that a specialist came in, took him off all his medication, but one by one, they put him back on everything. So he was deteriorating because the young lady had told me that mom and daddy, grandma, everybody was at the hospital. They was crying. She said she and her sister was at home. They were crying. Everybody was crying because that was about it. But he makes it home in time to get these supplements. And so he said, so he don't have cancer anymore. And I'm like, wow, this is amazing. What a wonderful testimony, right? So I said, I need you to do one favor. And he said, what's that? I said, I need you to not buy a new car. And people always ask me, why would you tell him not to buy a new car? Because that new car smell, that potassium bromate is in that car. That is what creates that smell. And I knew that his immune system would be so compromised. He don't need to be engulfed in a toxic chemical, right, called potassium bromate, right? He said, I already got a new car. This guy living his life. He went from dying to a new car. He said, I already got the new car. He said, but you know what? He said, the next day I got my new car, my face swelled up real big. He said, I called the hospital, my face swelled up. They said, well, are you allergic to anything? Did you eat something different? They didn't know. And he didn't know until I told him, that was your car that did that. Your car did that. People can have such a setback and they never equate it. They could be improving and never equate it to their new car. Sometimes people have health been so compromised with their new car, they had to get a new car to the wife and they take the older car and keep driving it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's on point. So, um, Joanne, you didn't get a chance to ask any questions last time. You're here now. You mind asking Mineral Mama any questions?
Well, I asked my question.
Well,
But
can you do it again while we online?
okay, my question was, where could I find the the salt that is the iodine salt program? Where can I find that
Right.
salt?
This is how I found out about what that salt was.
Okay.
I was working with the college students at Georgia Tech, right? I was doing some transportation, and I'm like, I met a guy who was from Pakistan, and I said, well, how do you live here in America? There's some iodine for the people brain. There's some iodine salts. There's some iodine salt program, right? And he said, well, we iodine salt. And I said, what do you mean you have iodine salt? He said, we get it from Pakistan, ships it over to our Indian stores. So I'm like, you have iodine salt in the Indian stores? And so I said, okay. And so I went to the Indian store and I looked, and there was that salt. And when I looked at the package, it said for mental development, helps with mental development. I'm like, look at that. right? This is why we're not having any issues with our Indian children, behavior issues. This is why they're going to school and they're absorbing that information. This is why they're doing so well. They're going to the same school our black children are going to, and white children too, right? But the white children are physically disabled, mentally disabled as well. But those Indian children, for the last two generations, the India has been part of the iodine salt program for two generations, right? And so that's the salt that those children. When I went to Trinidad and Tobago just now, I did the same kind of study. I'm doing my own study, and I get to Trinidad, and the brother was already telling me that the people are very intelligent. They live by the ocean, right? But I'm like, let me look at their salts, and they were getting 30 parts per million in their salts, and I'm like, wow, right? They don't have a program, but they're not doing them the injustice like they're doing us here in America. We don't have no iodine salt at all. So there's a conversation that's being had behind our backs every day, right? So the Global Iodine Network, the World Health Organizations, they have meetings. They have iodine salt meetings, right? And this is a meeting about intelligent meetings, because whoever has the iodine, when you know about the iodine salt, then you can dictate who's going to be intelligent. Because remember Matthew said, he who controls the weather controls the world. They also say he who controls the information controls the world. So they make sure this information we're not getting. We're not getting it at the college. The doctor's not getting it, right? There is no program. So if all of these people supposed to be in on it, the World Health, the endocrinologists, the OBGYN, the pediatricians, the school. There's no program when the people that's supposed to be part of the program don't even know the program exists. So how can the schools be a part of a program they never heard of? Not one teacher a principal know about October 21st, Global Iodine Deficiency Day, to eradicate low IQ. They don't even say that. They don't want you to know this. They don't want the black chosen people in America to know this program exists, because the same people that created all of these inventions, imagine what you would do with intelligence on steroid if you had the iodine, right? Because our superpower power is in our collective intelligence. That's our superpower. Our collective intelligence, our collective good health, and our collective longevity is our superpower. So our superpower is not activated, right? It's not. It's not there. Not yet, until we manifest it and create it without the help. So if we don't have the help of a nation who wants to help us, we're going to have to do it ourselves. We're going to have to make sure that every child, every household. So in the book, I envision a planet oversight committee, not a world health. We got to become our own planet oversight committee and do what we've been doing. When we made those inventions, we helped the whole world out. We didn't help black people, white people. What we did, because of the heart and the type of people that we helped the world out with our inventions.
100%. 100%. I want to ask real quick. I'm glad you shared that. I want to ask real quick. How can people? I know you might be able to break this down real quick. Like people that have that extra weight on them, that extra. Like a lot of people may be carrying a lot of water or extra weight. Some may be having I got like a small belly myself. I'm trying to get rid of. For some reason, it's there, and I keep trying to get rid of it. For some reason, it's not going nowhere. And I'm vegan. I may eat some stuff that's in this, like the stuff that's in the stuff we shouldn't eat, like I'm not going to even let me go off into it. But what do we need to do in order to get that water retention and a lot of the excess I don't know if it's waste or belly fat or what have you. I know they try to use baby, you know the name of the of those different types of what's that, Rizal and Ethiopian black seed. Maybe you know a little bit more about that, but just to get the extra water retention and everything off. Go ahead, baby. Were you about to say something to add to that?
Yeah, I was just saying it was oregano oil and Ethiopian black seed oil that he's been using to try and clean out um, the adrenals and things like that, the glands and I forgot the name of the glands, but he's trying to use that to just kind of clear things out because you don't know what could be backed up when we eat a lot of stuff that has sugar in it. Some stuff we don't even taste the sugar and it's still there. So yeah, we're just trying to cleanse it. We're trying to cleanse and detoxify the body so that we can live a little longer than we to move around and do things. So yeah, he's pretty much active. He's active, very active, more active than most 60-year-olds I know. But he understands that he needs to detox as a vegan. Um, we both understand that fact. So we're trying to make sure we take care of our bodies as much as possible so that we can teach our grandchildren and our children's children how to do that as well.
Can I interject something real quick?
Sure.
Mikhail, what you have is an intestinal blockage. And you have to understand what the difference is, like I said before, what the difference is between an alkaline and an acidic diet. Acidic diets are animals, okay? It's also any white products that are white, such as starchy products, white rice, grits, white potatoes. All of those things are not genetically compatible to your system. I mean, if you're eating those things. So what you have to do is all those things compromise your digestive tract, is blocking off of your cells. And so what you have to do is detox, you understand, by either way of eating prunes. They have 100% fiber like you wouldn't believe. If you can find dried prunes, take those, detox, whatever kind of water you're drinking, try and drink close to your body, not close to your body weight, because if you drink too much water, you can lead into congestive heart failure. Okay, and these are the things that they don't tell you. And then our systems are not like Caucasian systems. So why are we following the regimen? And even in education in this country, you're being educated to white supremacy.
Yeah. So I was going to ask you I was going to ask you next, because you do say you detox 3 times a week. But I was going to ask you after she had gave her point of view, because I know you said you detox 2 or 3 times a week, and I was going to ask you to share your detox. And Katrina, since we here now with him, we'll let him go ahead and give his point of view of how he detox. Because I was going to actually ask him after we got through with you. But since you're here now, Matthew, go ahead and tell us, how do you detox? Because you were sharing with me about that, and I do eat prunes, but not as in detox. So can you actually tell us how you go about doing it?
First of all, like I said, we have to understand the difference between an alkaline and an acidic diet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Once you come to that understanding and what all entails an acidic diet, you know what I'm saying? Just like I mentioned, is your mucus, it comes from animals, okay? Also, your acid, you know what I'm saying? It comes from potatoes. This is all acid. White people eat this stuff. This has no genetic compatibility to an African system at all. And so, again, I always want to go back to the chemical composition that our bodies are made of. Our bodies are made of carbon dioxide, nitrogen, hydrogen, oxygen, calcium, and water. The soil is made up of the same thing. And it's so simple. You know what I'm saying? It's so complicated for some of us. It's because we've been used to, over the years, being handed an acidic diet by parents. Okay? And once we come into the knowledge of what our bodies are chemically made of, then you can begin to heal your body. But first, the stomach must be empty because 90% of your immune system is in your stomach. Once you empty all those animals, I don't eat animals, period.
I don't either.
On no level.
I don't either.
Every time you eat, my stomach is flat. Okay? And
So I'm not eating animals though, but that's the point. I don't eat animals. I don't eat flesh.
But that's not what here's what I'm saying. You have to understand what acetic. Acetic just does not entail animals.
I know, but you're just saying that.
Acetic, yeah. Acid is your white is your white starchy products such as your rice, your grits, also your white potatoes. Anything starchy compromises your digestive tract. Okay? Now, white folks can eat all of that stuff is because they have more ammonia in their bodies. This is the reason why they can come out in the dead of the winter, okay, and jump in an ice pond with their drawers on.
Okay.
Okay? It's because they have more acid in their body. So you cannot solve a black diet with a white solution.
Okay, we got that. We got that.
Because your bodies are different from theirs.
Right.
Any other culture on this planet.
So let me ask you. I'm asking you. How do you detox? We're not talking about them, because what we're doing is we're finding the solution. We're not worried about the problem. We're gonna worry about the solution.
I take prunes and I keep my meals down to 1 meal a day. I basically go for nutrients, you understand, and not for bulk food. And that's where we got it confused. You don't have to eat 2-3 times a day. You eat 1 time a day, and you keep your stomach clear of these toxins, as well as these free radicals. You know what I'm saying? And once you, like I said, once you understand the difference between what an alkaline and acetic diet, you remove the acid products from your regimen, and your body will begin to heal. And what you go through is I go through an intercellular cleansing by taking prunes. If I don't have the prunes, I'll go get the prune juice. Okay? And I'll drink 1 14-ounce glass of that to 2 parts of water. Okay? And I allow that prune juice, you understand, to break up all the toxins, even with the stuff that I eat, the vegetables. All I want is the nutrients, and the rest is nothing but waste.
How often? How often do you do that?
3 times a week.
Okay, you do it 3 times a week. You said 1 part prunes and
1 part prunes. I'll send you the recipe. Don't even worry about it.
yeah, but I just want to know in case anybody wanted to catch it from you. They listening to a 72-year-old. You look good, bro. I'm glad you opened the camera so we can see you and we can see and hear you talk. So just in case anybody here on YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook that might want to hear you, how about you, if you don't mind telling your regimen, if it's not a secret?
No, it's not a secret. I'll share it with anybody. I've been trying to teach this for a long time. In fact, I do have a YouTube channel, where I'm teaching on the origins of salt.
Okay, that's origin of salt. Okay, what about? I want to know about that prune.
What I want people to understand is learn what your bodies are chemically made of. And learn what that soil is chemically made of, and then you should have it. Okay.
Okay.
You should be able to remove all of the bad stuff out of your regimen because over the years they set out on a poisoning system almost 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, we got that.
The Jesuits that brought everything I had ever learned right home.
Hey, y'all heard that last week. I shared. I'm gonna send this to you too, Mama. Mineral Momma. I sent a lot of information out, but I sent him that. He called me. He said he listened at it. I think he got it in the first 30 minutes to an hour. I think about 2.5, maybe 3 hours. That's a documentary. The Jesuits.
I only got 1 hour into it.
And it blew his mind. He's like, man. I always share knowledge and information. But go ahead. What you saying over there, Matthew, before we get to Mineral Momma?
Yeah, first of all, I want to say I didn't know that you was into that kind of knowledge because I've been doing my research since COVID. I mean, that's when I really turned on my research at the inception of COVID because I understood that they were trying to kill me, And as I shared with you before, they did kill my friend on Hagen Telegraph when the hospital was called Beaumont up on Hagen Telegraph.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and they killed him with the drug remdesivir poison. And so that's when I got serious about turning my body, alkalizing my body. okay, so that I can avoid disease. And right now, I don't have high blood pressure. I don't have cancer. I don't have kidney disease like they diagnosed me with. I don't have uric acid in my joints like they diagnosed me with. I don't have spinal stenosis. I don't have none of that.
Yeah, and you did that by cleansing your stomach, because it was a guy told me when I was in Atlanta.
Absolutely.
If you keep your stomach clean or empty,
Absolutely.
you'll stay healthy. Now, one more time, I'm gonna ask you one more time. What's your regimen 3 times a week on how you do your prune? If you don't mind me asking.
Okay. Okay. Well, essentially, I eat my prunes before I eat a meal,
Okay.
and that opens up the digestive tract.
Okay.
Okay. And I drink about 3 glasses of water behind that. And so I make sure that if I'm eating food, it contains water.
Right.
And most of my fruits that I eat a lot of watermelon, okay, which not only hydrates the skin, but also it has also fiber in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll eat that. Um, behind the prune.
Okay.
And if I want to have a black bean taco or something as well, I have that later on after I detox. But if I don't have the prunes, I drink 3 glasses of prune juice per week, one on each individual day.
Okay. One don't even. I didn't know how you did. I didn't know if you ate drug like constantly throughout the day, or okay, 1 glass of prune juice per day.
Absolutely.
I got
For
you.
3 days.
Got you.
Okay, and you drink 2 glasses of water behind that.
Okay.
Two parts water and 1 part prune juice.
Okay. Oh, thank you for that. That's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So now we're gonna let Mineral Mama come on back on, and 'cause we had some she's about to start with, but you came in, but she said it was something I asked. Do you remember the question I asked Mineral Mama that I asked before, or Joanne may have
I was
asked?
about to ask about weights. About she was talking about losing weight. You work
Right, and I was talking about the retention of water. Yeah, can you
Okay,
please? There you
let me
go.
interject. Did you hear me?
Right.
Let me interject this real quick. Basically, all she has to do is detox, get on that regimen that I suggested, and she'll lose the weight. But she's got to be serious about it. You can't play around with this thing because it's your health.
That's right.
They're poisoning all of this stuff out here, and you got to be consistent. You got to be on point every single day.
I agree.
Got to be. This is your life. This is your life journey. This is a journey. This ain't entertainment. This is a journey.
That's
It
real.
has to be journey every single day in order for you to stay healthy. Right now, I can get down on this floor and do 60 to 70 push-ups nonstop.
That's good.
Nonstop. Okay? It's because my cells are at peace. And so if that is the case, that puts me at peace. And what happens is like when you drink that prune juice and that water, you're doing an inner cellular cleansing. That's what you got to do. Not only from the intestinal tract, but you have to go deep and do an inner cellular cleansing. Sometimes you have to drink 2. If you know that what you are doing, you understand, is going to put you at ease throughout the rest of the day and for the rest of your life if you practice this regimen.
That's true.
Consistent.
That's true.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do, what we're gonna do is, the reason I asked you is because we can add that to our regiment throughout the week, which is as a people, and everything that we're learning, everything. I look at everything that we're learning because I think what you just shared with us was very important. With how you doing and with the prune, because I know prunes work. And with the water regimen, I really think it's very important. So I really appreciate and I thank you for sharing that, Brother Matthew, and with the wisdom that you do have for your 72 years young and you're looking good, But I also now what I would like for my sister to share her point, her points and her information as well, because all the information is great because it's all good for us all because everything we use is good for the benefit of the body and the healing of the nation. This is where we at. So I hope you're ready for Tuesday.
Who, me?
Yes, you.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay, well we're gonna let Mineral Mama come on in and she's gonna hook up from where we were just coming from.
Okay, so when I think about everything is gonna go back to the thyroid, it's like the main road that leads to all other roads, right? Back to the diet to make it simple. Everything our brother Matthew said, about what the body compartmentalized, different minerals and the phosphorus and the sulfur, right? Being all that is very important, right? But to keep it simple, too, the Most High never meant for it to be complicated.
Yeah.
It was always meant to be simple, right? And in the beginning, the earth, air, sea, and sun, right? You just make sure you have all those components. So without that ocean part, right? That's the minerals, right? That's because man was made from the dust of the earth, right? But if your dust came up from Detroit, right, then you missing the whole ocean part, right? And so without that iodine product I'm talking about to nourish the thyroid, right? What ends up happening is you find some people eyes end up enlarged, right? Thyroid issues, swollen, right? You have some people heart end up enlarged. Thyroid and selenium issue is swollen, right? And sometimes you have a whole body ends up enlarged, inflammation, swollen. They want to call it fat, but it's not fat. It's a thyroid body. That means it's a swollen body, right? So how do you nourish a swollen body, a swollen heart? You back to your minerals again, because what ends up happening is the thyroid, and back to the iodine and the other minerals. It nourishes that thyroid, so that thyroid is producing thyroid hormones, right? And these hormones convert from that T4 to T3, and it gives you energy, right? It nourishes the thyroid, it gives you energy. And then when you have that energy, because some people can be small, but if your thyroid is not working properly, you're not even going to have the energy to walk. You're not going to have the energy to lose weight. Your heart can be beating so slow, right? That you're going to be so fatigued and so tired, you even have the energy to do anything that you're supposed to do. So you nourish the thyroid, so it gives you energy, right? And then also, what it's going to do is lubricate you from the inside. It's going to lubricate your skin. It's going to lubricate that anus, because what happens is when people are iodine deficient, they hemorrhoids, they dry on the inside. They end up with hemorrhoids, right? You can't, it's so dry up in there. My son was born, because I didn't understand this. He didn't have thyroid issues, but he was so iodine compromised that even as a baby, I had to go inside of his rectum with a Q-tip to stimulate, right? Once he started taking his iodine, right, it lubricates your inside. And what that looks like is my daughter. I mentioned her in my first book. And when she started, she was always dry and ashy, right? No matter how much water she drank, her legs were still dry. Her mouth, her lips were still white, right? And it was more than just water, right? So when she started taking her iodine and her selenium, she jumped in the shower one day, she dried off, she put her clothes on, and she was walking out the door. She's like, oh, I forgot to put my lotion on my ashy legs, so she had on shorts. She looked down, she was moist from the inside out, right? Her lips was moist. She was moist. So just imagine all the lotion that everybody is buying because we're not moistened from the inside. Imagine all the stuff that we're buying for the hemorrhoids and constipation, right? Because it's not sliding out because we're not moist from the inside, right? So this whole thyroid thing is nourishing the brain, the body, the cells, right? And so that's just one mineral, that and the iodine and the selenium, right? Then you come in with your sulfur. Your sulfur is now going to strengthen your knees, right? It's an anti-aging too. It's going to detoxify the cells. It's going to the skin health, people that have rosacea and eczema and all of these things, right? And so the most important thing is like, yes, about being healthy. And some people like to know your body type, right? Right? Because some people like, okay, well, I'm O positive. some of that didn't work for me. I was vegan, vegetarian. I was with it, with the Hebrew Israelite nation. And I was like 15 years vegan. I was eating all that freaking tofu and all that soy. I didn't know soy was a molecule from plastic, right? Then I started finding out that Henry Ford made a whole plastic car with soybeans. He's the one too that did that crap. They showed him. Now they went to George Washington Carver, and they said, look, we need a product, we need a plant that will make ink and paint and ink and paint enamel, right? And so he recommended the soybean, not for food. He didn't say nothing about the soybean for food, right? And so Henry Ford made his car horn was made of soy meal. Okay, he made a car with he made a plastic car with the soybean plants. Okay, a plastic car with soybeans. So here I am, right, following a vegan community, and I'm eating all this soy and processed food that it was blocking my iodine from absorbing that I needed from seaweed, right? Because I like seaweed, not that nori sheet. We have black people, we got to learn how to eat wakame, right?
Wakame, yeah. Definitely. I like wakame.
We got to eat our seaweed.
I like wakame.
Baby, this is gonna keep your heart beating. It's gonna keep your brain thinking too, right? It's gonna give you that energy. It's gonna help fight off infection, right? So it's not just about diet. It's a whole lot of things that gotta be going on in the body at the same time. You can't have a mosquito come along and wipe out all that you just did. You might be small, right? But then the mosquito came and just knocked you out because your immune system is not strong, right? And so the iodine, the wakame, right, it's going to help with your immune support, just like the cod liver oil does. It's going to help fight bacteria, virus, um, um, like mold, fungus, right? All of these things got to be out. That's why they knew they can come in with COVID and wipe everybody out. You're not on selenium. You're not on iodine. You're not eating seaweed. So they knew that your immune system was already on vacation, right? Your immune system supposed to be in warrior mode, supposed to be in military stance, right? Did anything try to come in? You're not supposed to be living with hepatitis A, B, C, and D. These are just parasites that's been living in your body for a long time. So yeah, the size of the body and all that is important. But these things, your ocean element, your earth, air, sea, and sun, that's your diet. Earth, air, sea, and sun, right? And so, right, we're talking about our eye health. You gotta have healthy fat. What's a healthy fat for your eyes so you don't go blind? So you don't get Alzheimer's and dementia. These diseases are not a real thing, right? And so you whatever you take to protect that brain, it's gonna protect the rest of your body. Whatever foods you eat to support that brain, is like Dr. Africa said, you see with your brain, not with your eyes. Your brain is doing all that processing. I used to do hearing tests in the military, right? And I had to explain this to people. When that inner ear wasn't picking up sound, that's because the brain wasn't able to interpret the sound. So that means you hear with your brain, not with your ears. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta know how to keep all these things intact. You can't be deteriorating talking about, you had a heart attack when you needed the ocean. You can't be talking about I got Alzheimer's dementia, right? And everything for us is right here. You can't be talking about it went blind when the healthy fat, the red palm oil was right here, right? So we got to know how to prevent blindness, prevent Alzheimer's, prevent dementia, right? So, but the iodine is going to speed up. See, when they give you when women especially go to these doctors and they get this thin and stuff to lose weight, they're getting something to speed up the heart. Sometimes it injure the heart, but it speeds up the heart so they can lose weight. That's why when people get something called when people get and women get this a lot, like hyperthyroid. The heart is beating real fast, so they lose weight real fast, right? So the goal is to keep the heart rate beating like it's supposed to be and not slow. Because if the heart is beating slow, iodine deficiency will cause the heart to beat so slow you would lose energy on those things, right? Iodine will speed your heart up to a normal rhythm like it's supposed to be, right? And so then their weight won't be an issue, right?
Mm.
So that's how I focus on an enlarged body, a thyroid body, a inflamed body, right? I gotta come back to the minerals, period. You know, so that's how I dress.
Hey, that's good. That's good because it's all needed, it's all understood, and it's all growth. Um, is there anything you like to share before we ask anybody else? Did they like to ask you anything before we get ready to go?
Mhm.
Okay. Well, Joanne, is there anything you like to ask before we get ready to go?
Nope. I pretty much understand where she's at with that. Really want to start. Really want to start. Uh,
Our journey.
yeah. Of healing, and wellness. I want to start that ASAP. I've been working my way there. Uh, I'm losing the weight. I'm down 15 pounds. So, a lot of things that she said on that video, um, really, it was really driving me to look closer at what I'm taking into my body is, and not only that, look closer to what I'm feeding my family because um, we don't eat bread like that, but it's not just bread that the bromate is in. It's a lot more things, and we don't indulge in much sweet. But I have a thing for potato chips, so cutting down back on that, and we understand each other that we're trying to help each other. So he won't buy potato chips, and I try to limit as much as I can with the potato chips. But other than that, I'm really looking forward to getting the Tata salt and learning more from Mineral Mama because she's hitting dead home with, like, right now I'm dealing with a rotator cuff issue. So there's a lot of things that she said in that video that I'm dealing with, even in prayer. That she talks about she's not here just because we saw her video, or Brother Matthew, thank you again for just sending the video. But I do understand that this is divine, and we have to get better. When she talked about us being the army, we have to now teach what we've never been taught. They've been giving us this food and taking away everything that my father used to grow. Everything. My mother never had to go to a fruit market for vegetables and fruits or nothing like that because he had them in the yard. You know, um, we were a flesh eating family. My mother would go and get chicken and things like that, but she never had to go and get vegetables because all of her vegetables was in the garden. So um, I understand what it is to eat fresh from the garden and not from the stores. I understand what that is. I know the difference in the taste. I remember what our food really tasted like. But now that we didn't keep that, I didn't keep that tradition. My father always grew our food. And when he passed away, I didn't carry that with me. So I have a husband now who does grow, who knows how to, who's been taught very well how to grow gardens and food, how to produce food in his own yard. But the thing is, when you've lost that understanding, and I hadn't lost it, but when you've forgotten that understanding of how to taste the fresh food that you used
You
to
have to smell it too. Remember, you got to smell it too.
Yeah.
Because if you can't smell the food, yes, and then that should signal to you because everything has its own smell.
Okay.
Even people.
From
Okay.
the ripeness of it.
You coming in, Matthew? Let her finish. You coming in next, bro.
I'm sorry.
From the ripeness of it to the ripeness lets you know, the smell lets you know when it's ready to eat, when it's ready to harvest, all those things. Now remember those things that my dad taught me, but what I'm trying to say is I'm just looking forward to understanding and learning more about our nutrition because we've been given this stuff for so long, and people have never been taught about about iodine and the thyroid, which is the most important thing. I know definitely for a woman, the thyroid is that is the organ in your body that really is like the thermometer, you know, and you have to have that in your body to learn to even know whether you're sick or not. Sometimes you don't even think you're sick, but when you feel funny or dizzy or you're off balance, it could be your thyroid. Simple. And all you need is salt and not all this poison that they try to push to you when you go to the clinic. So yeah, I just wanted to say thank you, Mineral Mama, for coming on. It is our great pleasure that you're here. Um, like I said, it's divine, and you are here on time, where you should be. And I thank you for giving us your time. You could be anywhere, and I thank you for being here.
Thank you,
You
baby.
are
You
so
did.
welcome. And I'm gonna tell you real quick, I like what Matthew was saying, right? Because there's so much poison and toxic chemicals that I
Mm-hmm.
even tell my grandkids to get about eating all the time, every day. You don't
Yes.
have to one meal a day because the food is so toxic. I can't
Yep.
even trust it. But I'm gonna say one thing that I do eat. And I'm not with the vegan vegetarian no more. But I had a friend who was vegan vegetarian about 30 years. She still has some thyroid issues. It was getting better. I'm like, sweetie, I know you've been vegan for a long time, but I'm gonna need you to eat some sardines, right? And that's what she had to do because everything can't be
Can
in.
you repeat that again?
Sardines. She said sardines. Eat some sardines.
Sardines. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had to have, even though she had been 30 some years vegan, right? I need you to get a food source, right, of the ocean. And I had to put her on some sardines so we can get some improvement going. Everything can't be supplement either.
Mhm.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, brother Matthew, you like to say your last points of view before we go?
Yeah, I just want to reiterate the fact that that we understand what the difference between an alkaline and an acidic diet. Okay. I also want to say something about flour. If there's anybody out there eating cake or anything, flour and what is that other one? Baking soda. That's all. Those are all dry chemicals. All of those are dry chemicals. And we think that just because we put this food in, to make a cake rise, whatever, I'm saying that this is natural. This is not a natural process, and the way that God set up, I'm saying the earth, everything, and those don't even grow in concert with fruits and vegetables either. Flour, sugar, none of that grows in concert with vegetables. Okay, just like the sodium chloride. I'm not knocking what Trina said about the iodine. I have to study a little bit more. I know about that iodine. It is necessary to have iodine. But what I wanted to reiterate is that the fact that we understand the chemical composition of what our bodies are made of: hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, calcium, and water. And the soil is made of the same thing. So therefore, in my view, my medicine is in that soil.
You got it.
All my medicine, every medicine I need is in that soil, and that's how I live today.
Okay.
From having a geographical connection to the soil.
Right. Okay. We sure appreciate your brother Matthew. And let me just share my point of view since we're right here now. Um, Number one is I like to thank my first. I like to thank Matthew again for sending the clip for us to have our beautiful sister with us today. Very beautiful sister, you know. And when we were listening to her today, like I said, me and my wife listening to her, you know, we was like, man, you know. So I look at it. I don't try to downplay anything. My main thing is this: the Creator has given us all wisdom, knowledge, and information in many different ways. Um, I see, I understand, overstand, understand, however they say it. That we have come a long way from, let's just say, we come a long way from flesh to vegetarian to vegan to many other different ways of life of the way we eat. Now the soy and the what is it? Soy, we haven't done, I don't even do soy at all. I mean, soy may be in the cause you know they make soy sauce. You know, I barely use that. But we don't use soy on anything. The tofu and all that, you know, that was in my, I think, like back in our beginning stages of certain things. And as we evolve, I'm just gonna just kind of break it down like this. As we evolve, we start to evolve in eating and doing certain things in certain different ways. And we shave off one thing to pick up another. And as we pick up another, we do certain things. And I also, us as a people, what not come to know, but what I know is that we are a type of people that overdo everything. When we came to soy, we overdid soy. And then when it came to rice, vegan rice thing, we overdid it. And then it went to everything. We overdo stuff instead of doing things in moderation. Now, you know, now I know a lot of things causes mucus, like cheese. I don't really like cheese. My wife loves cheese. You know, I really don't like cheese much at all. I really got off all the other stuff. Even the processed stuff, I'm moving away from. Well, actually, we're moving away from as a family. A lot of the processed or plant based stuff. We're moving away from that. No, the almond milk and the fact that is, I mean, even though it's made from almonds and things like that, it's still mucus content. And to me, it makes mucus. So I love the So Delicious, and I haven't even been eating it. I've been weaning my way several off that for a while. I haven't even eaten any. I can't remember last time I ate none within the last, I think maybe the last 2 or 3 months. So Delicious was my favorite go-to for ice cream. You know, but the salted almond cluster. So that was, but I really don't eat that anymore. Now we have almond milk. Mainly give that to my son because you know he give him Cheerio. But then I think the potassium bromate is in the cell. The last box we got, we had I think we had opened yesterday or today. Um, I think that one, it's a lot of stuff we don't do, especially like when it comes to, y'all may have heard of the bioengineer. When we start seeing that, me and my wife was definitely against the nope. We already know that that's beyond all the other stuff maybe, but the whole thing is that we know that a lot of stuff is chemical. We know that a lot of stuff is unnatural. We know we got to get back to the natural way of living, the things that we need to eat, the non-processed. And so Brother Matthew is totally right when it comes to the things of the earth. My sister is so right when it comes, guys. I'm gonna tell you what was in my mind a lot of times. She was saying about getting back to the ocean. We do know that we are under law, which is land, air, and water, right? So in the air, we're breathing water right now, whether people realize that or not. When the water evaporates, it's another density of water. The air is another density of water. We have the ocean, which is the thick water or water itself. Then we have the air itself that evaporates, which is still water, in a very condensed form. Then it goes into the heavens and come back down because we know everything, you know, it regenerates or re-rotates, right? So, and that was some things I've been wanting to add. I've been wanting to ask or kind of get to because I know that this, out of the whole United States, Michigan sits around the 5 lakes of water. And you know we are the more sufficient, and I know it's not the ocean, And I believe it may be contaminated as well because because what they did to Flint. But yet and still, Michigan is the closest thing to what we have as a resource of water. Besides, I think New York may be close to. I really don't know. But on that end, it may be more closer to the ocean on that side compared to L.A. and on the further side out west being close to the Pacific. And those are oceans there. But just in the palm of where we at when it comes to Michigan, and I know water is very, very, very important. And it's a reason. I'm just throwing it out there, but I also want to share with you. It's a reason why everyone on this call tonight is from Detroit. It's a reason. And I already know it. I know this is a divine intervention. I knew that when we talked to the sister today, and she told us she was from Detroit. Uh, all four of us online here tonight, on Zoom, that is from Detroit. We all have wisdom and knowledge. We all have wisdom and knowledge of information, and we are of this army that's in Revelations 12, verse 7 through 12, verse 7 through 12, which is the army, and that's what we are part of. So when you were speaking that, when I say my quote, what I went through, I know who I am, and I'm not saying it as in just talking it. I went through my spiritual awakening, and the Creator told me things that I've shared in time past. I don't share it all the time, but it's things that He shared that I know who I am, and I know that's the reason why we are here together tonight. Everyone here has a purpose. Everyone here tonight has a purpose to do, and I know that I have the foundation for us to stand on. When I say I have the foundation, Matthew, you know a little bit of it did your NDA, but you got a portion that you've been reading over, but you don't understand it yet. You don't get to understanding. My beautiful sister, when you come to understand what you want the schools to do, we're going to be able to do it. And I'm gonna tell you, on a strong. When I told you the iron rod is this, you're gonna have a better understanding. As long as you stay with us, I guarantee you. Come Tuesday, you're gonna understand. Guaranteed. So I know who I am. I know what the Creator has allowed me and got me in the position of doing, and I see things clearly. No different than every one of us here from Detroit tonight. Detroit has a certain purpose, and I remember hearing a prophecy about Noble Drew Ali talking about Detroit and Chicago. Now I don't remember how it go, but it was a prophecy or it was something that was said that was probably like prophecy. Detroit got Detroit. We already know Detroit versus the world. Detroit versus everyone. So. And then, as I was sharing with my sister, and I think I shared with Matthew, with everyone, wherever you were born, you have an inheritance there. So it's a lot of things that me and my wife know that we are actually helping a lot of people with. And once people get serious and really want to become private, is over. So what we're looking for, the beginning of the end is already here. We're the beginning of the end of that empire. The future that both of you are speaking of, the future is now. Before I came home, I was saying time is now, and there was a brother in Atlanta. He kept saying, "Why are you saying that?" It just came to me. It was in 2014. I said, "Time is now." It was just the spirit was having time is now. I would say that on my Facebook when I would get done doing my post. Time is now. Time is here. Our time is here and now. And our time to stand as that army is happening right now. So, as we end tonight, and I also wanted to say, as my wife was sharing, I wanted to share this. I hadn't planted a garden. My father, as Joanne was sharing, my other father, I don't like saying stepfather, my biological mother and my father was staying together, and we was here in Detroit. And then when I was growing up, in my elementary years up into my junior high school, because they moved when I got after 1 year of my high school, they moved to Mississippi. So I stayed here in Detroit with my biological father and my other mother. And my other mother and both my mothers is still here today. I just say that both my mothers are still here today, but I haven't made a garden physically, dug up, made holes, planted food. I haven't done that since I could say 14 or 15. 16 is when when they moved and I started staying with my father now, my biological father. So I just say between the age of 15 or 16 until me being 60, I got food growing outside right now. First time I did it, and I actually did a process, and I was sharing that process. So I'm not gonna. I would think about sharing it with you, but I got so many clips that I was doing everything step by step. So if anybody wanted to learn how to do it, I was showing step by step all the way to me putting food in the ground. So um, I can share that with you if you like me to. I actually put them on YouTube and all the different ones. I put them in steps the way I did it, and I was proud of myself. But now we got it's sprouting now. Now I put them in the ground on the 11th, but I started um, June 1st. In between that time and breaking the ground and putting it up, I've been busy. So between that time, I was always shooting a video. So they're sprouting now. Now I gotta start showing my sprouts. That's gonna be my next phase is to show them sprouting, showing them growing, and just to show people that it can be done. It's not hard. We can do it. So I just wanted to share that. I want to tell all of y'all that came on tonight, my Detroit family, and everybody that joined. Facebook gone, y'all. Facebook dropped off. It died on me. But we still got YouTube and we got Instagram. And I wanted to thank everybody for coming. And I wanted to share with everybody. We'll be here tomorrow night at 9 p.m. as well for those who decide to come. But also we'll be here Tuesday rising at 7:30 a.m. and then at 9 p.m. And that's private, so we'll be on Zoom only at that time. But other than that, I just like to share that I am that Mikael in Daniel chapter 12, verses 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's me. Nope. Nope. I can't do that. First, I got to do, and I plan this, and I'm sorry. My sister, you got to share your information. That's what we got to do. Because I probably thought that later. But yeah, share your information, share your YouTube, your Instagram, and whatever you got, and your everything. Spit it out. I almost forgot. But come on with it, sis.
Okay, so my website is still under development, but it's We Are Minerally Made.
Say that again.
We are minerallymade.com.
Oh, we are minerally made.
Right.
Minerally made. Gotcha.
You're minerally made.
Okay.
Okay.
Would you like to spell it? Just spell it. Just.
MIWE. We are ARE. Minerally MINERALLYMADE.com. Right. But my YouTube is Ask Mineral Momma, and Instagram Ask Mineral Momma, and TikTok is Ask Mineral Momma.
Everybody for everybody that didn't hear, Facebook didn't get it, but that's Ask Mineral Momma. Now with Ask Mineral Momma, I know you have do you have underscores with those or no?
It does, but when you just put it in, it'll pop up.
Okay, great.
Yeah, it'll pop up, right?
Ask Mineral Momma for those who couldn't hear it. But I'm sorry. Go ahead, sis.
That's pretty much it. So people have been DMing me, especially people from Chicago, Ohio. That last video I put out, my DM has been like, I need help with this. My mama need help. My children need help. So it's been busy and popping, but DM me, it's fine.
Yeah. Let me ask you. I would not to ask a question, but I would like to ask you to do this. Text me the link to that video you're talking about now. I'm gonna add it to this information and any information that you want me to put. I want you to put it so I can add it to the links here. The only one I might not put it with because Instagram only holds so much, but YouTube, Facebook, and wherever I put it on, I'm gonna put all the information there so they'll be able to connect with you, see that video as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm always talking about helping and building our people, so we'll do that and we'll grow from there. And I hope you with us, sis.
Yes.
And you can share the information, especially it's a link that it's the information I have with the Zoom, or you can just tell people if they're serious about joining, they can text me their name, number, and email, and they'd like to know the information to the Zooms, and then that way. Because most of the people that actually come to the introduction solving class of knowledge, they have to be invited. It's not just an open door because we have a lot of agents out there. I'll put it like that. But what we doing works. All right. I just want to share with you what we doing. It worked and it's real.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
So
you.
you're welcome. Is there anything else you want to share?
No, I'm just thankful to be here. I appreciate the invitation.
Oh, thank you for being here.
And don't forget,
I wanted to
it's
say
your
thank her too.
Go ahead.
Say thank you, Trina, for your knowledge.
thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Likewise, though.
Okay. You showing the book. Say it out loud because the Instagram and YouTube can't see it. Can you share the name of it?
Yes, this is From Stolen Intellect to a Genius Revolution, Awakening a Movement to Heal Generations. And this is the second book.
Say it one more time. We'll make sure they get it.
The first book is Stolen Intellect, Recovering the Missing Link to Generational Health. It's red and blue. The second book, sequel, huh?
Where can it be found, your book?
Oh, let her tell you, bro. Let her tell you. Let her finish.
Oh, and the second one is From Stolen Intellect to a Genius Revolution, Awakening a Movement to Heal Generations. And it's on Amazon as well. Okay?
Now, what we're gonna have, Brother Matthew, we're gonna have the information on how you can get all that information in the link. Okay? So when I send it to you, you'll be able to have the information, you'll be able to check them out. And we'll have, you know me, I'm gonna share the links. You already know I'm gonna share the links, so let the people know. Yeah, so other than that, for everybody else, and I thank you, my beautiful sister. You're part of the family now, girl. All right. So for everybody else, just want everyone else to know that I am that Mikael in Daniel chapter 12, verses 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's me. Showing the holy people who they're really supposed to be. Waking them out of their dead beds, which is really in their heads. For all of you who's living in the new, this is for you. I'm that same Mikael in Revelations 12, battling that red dragon where Satan dwell, who deceiveth the whole world but prevaileth not, because the horn is blown without a doubt. This is prophesied for you to see that Mikael is really me. And this is the end of Fight Fire with Truth, which is open conversation. And tonight was conversation with Katrina, which is actually Mineral Momma. All right. So other than that, the benediction. Look at me, I almost got thrown off my hookup. The benediction for tonight. We're going to be reading out of Numbers chapter 6, verse 22 through 27. And it states, And Yah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, On this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, Yah bless thee and keep thee. Yah make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. Yah lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. And they shall put Yah's name, which is his law, upon the children of Israel, and Yah will bless them. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shekevo, Vakuto Violam, Vaed, Hallelujah. Hear, O Israel, Yah our Father is one Father. Blessed be thy glorious kingdom forever and ever. Hallelujah. Blessed be thou, Father of the universe, to bring forth all living creatures forth from the earth. Blessed be thou, Father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Blessed be the Father of Israel. Blessed be the Father to our tribe of Israel. Father, thank us for this glorious night you have brought all of us together to give your word, to give your knowledge, and give your understanding, that others may know, grow, and come to us, and to share the knowledge that has been given. And as we grow in your word and in your name, allow us to be prosperous, healthy, wealthy, and wise in all that we do. We bless you, praise you, and thank you. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Praise you, Almighty. Thank you, Father. Now that we are at the end of Fight Fire with Truth, which is tonight, I would like to share with everyone again. Facebook missed a lot on this one, but that's for those who was looking at it. Will come on there. But other than that, just like to share with everybody that if anyone is interested in connecting with us on Zoom, you're welcome to text me your name, no, text and email me your name, number, and email. That's text and email me. Text and or email me your name, number, and email at 770 572 5315. Again, that's 770 572 5315. Or you can email me at lkhyym@gmail.com. Again, that's lkhyym@gmail.com. And if you're interested in coming on our platform on Zoom, we have our private platform, which is every Tuesday. From this point on, is that every Tuesday at 7:30 a.m. and at 9 p.m. That's 7:30 a.m. and at 9 p.m. And that's called Introduction to Sovereign Class of Knowledge. That's Introduction to Sovereign Class of Knowledge. And there, like I said, that's private and is on Zoom only. That's on Zoom only, and that's 7:30 a.m. and also at 9 p.m. Two times on at that present time, which is that morning, which is the rising of the sun, excuse me, and also the night after the sun go down. Then we're here on the Sabbath day. The Sabbath is the Sabbath, and it's called Assembly of the Righteous. It's Assembly of the Righteous when the Father told us come together on the Sabbath day to keep His law, keep His word, and we go through the scriptures, which will, yesterday we did 2 Kings chapter 13. This Sabbath coming up would be 2 Kings chapter 14. All right? And that's every Sabbath at 12 p.m. noon, which is the beginning of the evening. 12 p.m. noon, we'll be right here, 12 p.m. noon Eastern time. And that's Sabbath Assembly of the Righteous. Then we're here on tonight, every Sunday, as they call it, the night after Sunday, I like to say, which is called Fight Fire with Truth, which is open conversation, which we're here having open conversation, open dialogue on truth, knowledge, and information that we need to share, that we may help others with things that they need to know and need to grow in things that we may have not known about. All right. So we're here on that's the night after Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. And this is Fight Fire with Truth, which is open conversation. Then we're here tomorrow night, which is every Monday, the night after Monday, should I say, and that's called Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. That's Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. And that's at 9 p.m. night after Monday. And we'll be here at that time. That's 9 p.m. Eastern time. And then again, we're back on Tuesday, which is at 7:30 a.m. and at 9 p.m. for Introduction to Sovereign Class of Knowledge. That's Introduction to Sovereign Class of Knowledge. And I will throw this in at this point in time. Once you graduate that foundation, or once we do that class, then we have another one called Freedom Sovereign Class of Knowledge, which I call Gates of Heaven. Once you pass the introduction, you're in the gates of heaven. And I don't mean up there, I mean you're in the gates of heaven here. And that's real. We have testimonies behind it and everything. So just wanted to share that. Other than that, I like to thank everybody for their time. Before we go there, please text me again or email me at 770-572-5315. Again, that's 770-572-5315 or lkhyym@gmail.com. Again, lkhyym yym@gmail.com. That was for the Zoom and the Zoom platforms. Now, in just for the other platform, the public platforms, if you'd like to connect with me on YouTube and also on X, formerly known as Twitter, on my YouTube, you can like, subscribe, and share. My X, formerly known as Twitter, and also my YouTube is under Juice Pro 33. All together as one word, which is spelled JUICE PRO 33. Again, that's JUICE PRO 33. And also, we're here on Facebook. Facebook is Mikael Harris. Again, that's Mikael Harris, which is spelled MI apostrophe CHAEL space HARRIS. That's MI apostrophe CHAEL space HARRIS. All right. Also, we're here on Instagram and also TikTok. Instagram and TikTok is under Lakaim underscore the juice, which is spelled LKHYYM underscore THEJUICE. Again, that's LKHYYM underscore THEJUICE. That's Instagram and TikTok. Now my other my other TikTok and YouTube. My other Instagram and YouTube is under Michael the Juice Harris, which is actually at Michael the Juice Harris. You gotta use the at sign, and it's spelled at sign. But this is my other YouTube and my other TikTok, which is under at sign MICHAELTHEJUICEHARRIS. Again, that's at MICHAELTHEJUICEHARRIS. Now, last but not least, we have patreon.com and rumble.com. That's patreon.com/LKHYYM. Patreon.com/LKHYYM. And we also have rumble.com/LKHYYM. Again, that's rumble.com/LKHYYM. Now, this is the end of the night. We'd like to thank everybody for coming. We're going to end our Zoom first because that's that's the full version. And I'd like to thank my brother Matthew, my beautiful sister Trina, better known as, or should I say, Katrina, better known as at this point in time, Mineral Momma. And we also thank my baby, Miss Joe, for being here as well. Other than that, I'd like to thank everybody. I thank y'all. I appreciate you. And I thank you for your time, your patience, your listening ear, your seeing eye. Appreciate love, y'all. See you soon. And Katrina, I'm looking for your text of everything you want me to put into the links. And we'll go from there. I love you, sis. And I'll see you soon. My brother Matt, I see you, my bruh. My baby, she like I know she down there on the phone. I hear her down there talking. She's talking to somebody. So we'll talk soon and always. Peace.
Recording stopped.
All right. There we go. Beautiful night. Beautiful night. All right. And everybody over here on Instagram. Matter of fact, let's go with YouTube Live. I thank you for your time, your patience, your listening ear, and your seeing eye. Appreciate love you. See you soon and always. Peace. All right. And over here on Instagram,